Let's talk about culture. What is culture? What is it they're doing? Because it's a very difficult thing to put into action. Culture is basically 3 elements. It's what, how, and why. Okay? And if you're trying to create some kind of safety culture on any level, what you're looking for is a system of behavior that helps you act in an accepted or familiar way. Accepted and familiar. It's familiarity. Culture's familiarity. You've seen it before, you've done it before. It becomes a repetitive action. You don't think about it. And that's quite a difficult thing to get, actually. All right? Now, I'll give you some examples. Is this accepted and familiar way of standing in a line in Norway? Yes or no? No. Yes, someone said? Really? I've never seen this. I've seen this. There's a subtle difference. Can you see? There's a small difference, isn't it? It's got to do with the space. Or put it this way, you would never stand in a line. This would be never accepted or familiar in Norway if you stood in a line like they do every day in India. You would never do this. You can try this. See how accepted and familiar it is. Try this at your supermarket next week and see what happens. But this is completely normal in India. Completely. In fact, I had an Indian guy in my audience who said to me, he looked at this and he said, you could easily fit another one in there, no problem. Easy. Everyone knows this system, don't we? This is accepted and familiar. I mean, this is really simple stuff. But look how they do it in a little place in Brazil. It's a different way to achieve the same result. Can you see that? And when you're trying to create safety cultures within organizations, you'll have people with slightly different ideas on how the best way to do it. They need to be overridden. There needs to be one way, and that's the way we do it here. And that's quite a difficult thing to get right, actually. Another example, you're standing in front of an elevator, 2 elevator doors, waiting for the elevator. A person standing next to you, suddenly both doors open at the same time. The person next to you takes this elevator. Which one do you take? The other one. You're not thinking about it, are you? You know, that's how it should be as well. My question to you is why? Why do you do that? I've heard lots and lots of answers. Great explanations, but actually really good ones. It's because of this, isn't it? Space. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about Norwegian space, because in my opinion, space and the amount of space we demand from each other in Scandinavian cultures, not just Norway, is actually a barrier to good communication. Let me explain. First of all, we have lots of space. There's loads of it in Norway. And I remember the first time I was in Oslo, first visit to Oslo, I didn't speak Norwegian then, I was with a Norwegian, I saw this. It was a Sunday. And I said, where is everybody? And the guy said to me, they're probably in the forest. Already that was a weird answer, yeah? To me. Not now, after 20 years, I do the same every Sunday. I'm in the forest. The Norwegian forest, yeah? Something you take for granted. You don't think about it until someone from the outside comes in and challenges your assumptions. That person was my father. My father came to visit. My wife thought it would be a good idea to go for a walk in the forest on a Sunday. So she said to my father, would you like to go for a walk in the forest? My father said, why? He just didn't get it, actually. Why? And then I had to explain to my wife that in Italy, if you say to another Italian, hey, you want to take a walk in the forest? You should say no. No. And then my wife got irritated to me, how could I know this? I said, there's no way you could know this. But then I said to her, you know now. You know now. How? Because you've been exposed to it. You've communicated. You've shared. Communication is share. I mean, everybody knows if you're creating cultures, human behavior, if you're trying to change people's way of thinking, you've got to communicate it. And communicating is a two-way process. And the only way to communicate well and learn from each other is to expose yourself.